This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 on this Monday morning, 2 more shootings happening in Indianapolis within the past 10 hours. We'll show you what happened and what police know so far.
It's the club that's not only fun, but it gets you ready for the workforce. We'll take a look at the group that's helping to take students from the classroom to their career.
And sometimes the things that have the biggest impact on our lives are extremely small. That's the premise of a program designed to get kids excited about the world around them. On this Monday, August the 12th, welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Rafael Sanchez. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day with the beeping and the buzzing.
Yes.
I'm in for Meredith, Lauren Casey, and look who's back.
He's back from New Jersey, visiting the family.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back,
Okay?
as always.
You're tanner, you're taller, I mean, you're happier. What's going on?
I don't know about taller, probably a little tanner from the Jersey Shore. But
From my vantage point, everyone is taller, so you are taller.
yeah, you know, and we had a pretty good weekend with lots of sunshine, some storms enter the forecast here today. And we're dealing with a few of these storms already this morning up to the north. Nothing really to write home about, nothing severe here this morning, but we'll start you off up in the Hartford City area, Blackford County. Some heavy rainfall moving right across Indiana State Road 3 as you work your way from north to south through that county this morning. No lightning, no, that's the good news. And then just some light rain extends back off to the west, Gas City over towards Marion to the north. We're dealing with some spotty showers up towards the Peru area. They have now cleared out of the Logansport area, so that is good news. Then there's a few spotty showers also over near Crawfordsville. Otherwise, skies are partly cloudy, so obviously there is a shower chance here this morning, but it's really later on this evening that these clusters of storms will start to make their way into the area, and that is why we are in alert mode. It's mainly tonight and then into the overnight hours that we bring in the threat of severe weather. 60s and 70s this morning as we work our way throughout the day. Today, it's another good day at the Indiana State Fair. It's warm, it's muggy. Just be on the lookout later on this evening, most likely towards the end of the business hours for the fair and then to the overnight hours for those storms. We'll talk more about them coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're taking a look at traffic on your Monday morning, and right now everything around the metro area is traveling pretty smoothly, so that is great news. We do have this closure, though. This is your first work day of having to deal with this closure of eastbound, northbound I-465 there on the southeast side. We're going to break that all down for you in just a minute, but let's take a live look out there right now at I-465 and Arlington Avenue. Traffic in the open side, the westbound lanes traveling up to speed. Eastbound is closed. As you can see, no cars getting through in that area. But again, we're going to have the details and the detours coming up a little bit later in this block.
The time is 5:03. We continue to follow that breaking news that happened overnight on the city's northwest side. 2 people are in the hospital after a Shell gas station near 71st and Michigan Road. And so far, all police have said is that the victims were taken to the hospital in serious condition. Investigators have not said what led to that gunfire. Also new this morning, investigators looking into a pair of shootings on the city's northwest side. First, just after 9 last night, police were called to a shooting near Udell and California. The victim from this scene was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Then, just 6 minutes later, and blocks up the street, a second call for a person shot. When officers arrived to Eugene in California, they found a man with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition.
At 5:03, a heartbreaking update this morning on the pregnant Anderson mother who police say was shot in the head by her boyfriend a week ago. RTV6 has learned that Alexis Wasson has died from her injuries. The mother was pregnant with twins. Police say that her boyfriend, Skylar White, shot her on August 2nd. Court documents say that White told his mother it was an accident, but police say he did not get immediate medical help for her. Wasson was 21 weeks pregnant and her unborn twins died last week. White faces charges of murder and terminating human pregnancy.
Reducing gun violence, not just here in Indianapolis, but across the country, is the goal of a peace walk held over the weekend at George Washington Park. The group We Live Indy, created by former Warren Central student Brandon Warren after he lost his classmate to gun violence, held a 3rd annual peace walk. Joining them in their effort, 2 national gun violence prevention activists and peace educators. One, a survivor of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida. The other, a survivor of a high school shooting in Santa Fe.
We wouldn't need to march if there wasn't issues within this community and issues that they want solved. And so I definitely commend as many people that came out for coming out, because they have a vision and they have a belief that something needs to change, and they're standing up to do exactly that.
Continuing this fight, each and every day, it's an uphill battle, but at the same time, I realize that, it's a fight that needs to be carried on.
Warren goes on to say that it's important to educate people and to raise awareness about reducing violence. His efforts led him to receiving the RTV6 Jefferson Award for multiplying good.
At 5:05 all month long, we're showing you how local schools are preparing students for their careers. And one district is giving high schoolers the opportunity to receive the 2 years experience that's often listed on the entry-level job positions before they even graduate from high school. So our own Alyssa Donovan joining us live this morning down in Trafalgar, Indiana. Alyssa, you spoke with a student who was able to choose his career path before he even received his diploma.
That's right, Lauren. Indian Creek High School offers several different classes that help set students on specific career paths, and one of those paths is computer science. I spoke with a student who joined that program, and he says having the actual experience has really helped him choose what he wants to do for a career.
Yeah. Isaiah Lacey is setting up a 3D printer workstation at Indiana Creek Middle School. The teen just graduated from high school and spent his summer break learning skills like this.
Yeah, I wanted to do it to get experience because this is what I want to do for a living. I want to be in the computer field somewhere.
The Tech Team program started last year. Students take computer science or technology classes, then they can join the technology team. For their senior year, they get to be part of work-based learning.
They become fully integrated into our technology team here and are just another member of our staff in the afternoon. They help troubleshoot devices, they help work on technology problems that their fellow students and teachers might be having, and they also work on repairing some devices that are broken.
The opportunity proved to be a very important one for Lacey as he laid out his future.
I was really trying to decide between the sports management field and this field, and I actually got to take 2 classes, one in each, and it helped me decide that this is what I wanted to do. This is the way I wanted to go.
A field where he will be needed.
Technology is, becoming more and more important and more integrated into our lives and into our schools. And having people that are skilled in that and knowledgeable in that is going to be incredibly valuable.
And thanks to the tech team, Lacey is well ahead of the game.
And Lacey says he's learned so much through the program, and he already knows exactly what he wants to do next. He'll be going to college to major in computer information systems, and he plans to eventually get a job in military intelligence. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
So many great programs happening in schools every day of the week. We continue our classroom to career coverage by showing you a unique opportunity at the State Fair.
Yeah, Purdue Extension has an interactive exhibit, and it's getting students excited about science. Our own Aaron Lish joining us live in studio this morning. And Aaron, tell us a little bit more about what this exhibit is showcasing.
Well, we're kind of giving you a little bit of a science lesson this morning. So there is this bright, beautiful display focusing on the mighty microbes called microorganisms and how they can help save the world through bioprocesses, which basically needs what needs to be done with cells or their components to get a certain product. So it's set up at the State Fair inside the Purdue Extension Agriculture Horticulture building. And it explains what microorganisms are and how they make things like foods, pharmaceutical products, and biofuels. They want to show that it's not only bad with bacteria, but how they can be used for a variety of things. There's also an interactive session that you're seeing, like connecting what medicines can get rid of those bad microbes like a virus, where kids are connecting which are the right matches. And Purdue Extension tells me that their goal is to really spark an interest in becoming top scientists starting at a young age.
What we've learned is that we have to get them interested early. When they learn about the science and the really the neat things, the occupations that they could potentially have going forward, it allows them to grow and to think about what opportunities they're going to have for the future.
So kids and you, the adults, can learn from this. They even have a section about brewing beer, since it's one of the best fermentation processes, and many other bioprocesses are similar to that. So it really makes what seems like a complex subject easy and fun to understand. And it does travel to local museums. If you miss it at the fair this week, you can go there. And we will have what kids and the parents think about this exhibit in the next half hour.
All right, Erin, sounds pretty cool. Thank you so much. Right here at 5:10, we have a traffic reminder that could save you from having a Monday morning headache if you use I-465 along the southeast side. Those complete lane shutdowns that we've been warning you about for about a week now are now in effect. We're talking about the stretch between I-65 and I-70. The east and northbound lanes closed Friday night, and they're scheduled to remain closed until August 24th. Here's a live look right now in that area from our INDOT traffic camera at Arlington Avenue. Crews are doing concrete and bridge work. Now, INDOT says doing this entire shutdown rather than the periodic lane closures allows them to get this project done in 15 days rather than 9 months. So we like that. It's speeding things along. INDOT is suggesting several detour routes to help you navigate around this shutdown right here on your screen. You can see one of the detours here and then another one on I-74. But of course, we have all of this information for you at theindychannel.com and on the RTV6 app. Of course, we're going to be monitoring any backups because of this closure, Todd. But the good thing is they don't have to deal with any weather issues this morning, right?
Yeah, for the most part this morning, we're dealing with pretty quiet conditions. We do have a couple showers out there that you can see behind me on Storm Team 6 radar, but they're mainly in northern locations, not affecting the metro area. But we'll keep the chance of an isolated shower in the forecast here through your morning commute as you kind of get going on this Monday. Maybe grabbing an extra cup of coffee. It's warm and muggy with temperatures that are in the 70s. So here are our showers, a few very, very light ones near Crawfordsville to Lafayette, some heavier showers up near the Peru and Hartford City area. Back off to our west, though, this is where the heaviest of the rain is, and that is what is going to arrive later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. You can see the best potential for severe weather with the enhanced risk, central Illinois back into Iowa. We are under the slight risk, though. We'll talk more about these storms and the threats they'll bring, as well as the timeline coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. There's something fishy in the air on the city's north side. Coming up, it's drainage work that has to be done, but it's leaving behind a very unpleasant side effect.
Well, she made history yet again. We'll show you how the greatest American gymnast of all time did something no one has ever done before. You'll want to stay tuned for this, and we'll have more coming up right after the break.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
Welcome back. RTV6 working to get answers for people who live in a North Side neighborhood who are upset and frustrated about a city project.
And so they say the drainage project, which will help reduce flooding, is needed in this neighborhood. Our Nicole Griffin tells us why people are not happy about that, the smell, and everything else that is now left, as you can see, behind.
I don't know about you, but this smell is getting to me.
Connie King lives in the Castleton Farms neighborhood near 75th and Shadeland. She's the vice president of the neighborhood association. Right now, work is underway on a drainage project that will hopefully stop flooding issues they've had for years.
We do need this project. We need it done. It did need to be dredged because we have a lot of flooding in here.
But her concern is all the dead fish in the pond as they drain the water.
Well, they said they would take out the fish and the turtles and they would transport them into someplace else and to keep from killing them. And they would be humane about it, is what they said. And then the next thing we know, no, we're not going to save any of them. Well, what do you mean you're not going to save them? You know, I mean, you said you would.
She says the smell has been an issue now for days and nothing is being done about it.
I mean, this is a nightmare. I mean, you can smell it. It's going in our houses.
You can't even walk your dog around the lake anymore. I mean, I'm driving like 4 blocks away so I could walk my animal. And you can't even go sit outside or go to the pool. It's disgusting.
Susan Miston reached out to her city county councilor, hoping to get some answers about why the fish weren't saved. She's also asking what can be done about the terrible smell. Answers she'll have to wait on until Monday.
I just hope they do something pretty quick because our summer kind of stinks.
RTV6's Nicole Griffin with that story. We also reached out to the city to get some answers about that project. We're asking what can be done about that smell in that neighborhood and why the fish were not saved. The city county councilor who represents that area says he's also contacting the Department of Public Works and will let us know as soon as he knows some answers and tell us, the neighbors, what they believe. And some people did go down to that pond, we're told, to save the turtles from the water. At 5:17, the FBI and the Justice Department have both launched investigations in the death of child rape suspect Jeffrey Epstein inside of his prison cell. Epstein apparently took his own life over the weekend, not long after he had been taken off suicide watch. ABC News has learned that guards were supposed to check on the accused sex trafficker every 30 minutes, but that protocol was not followed in the hours before Epstein's death. A source within the prison says the understaffing has been a problem. Last week, she broke down, talking about how USA Gymnastics, based right here in Indianapolis, had let her and other gymnasts down. She was talking about that massive sexual assault case against former team doctor Larry Nassar. But when it was time to compete, Simone Biles, she put that all aside and showed the world why she is one of the best in history. You have to see this. This weekend at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships, Biles did this. Take a good look. Landing a triple-double in the floor exercise. That's 3 twists and 2 somersaults. No one has ever done that in competition before. Watch this in slow motion.
Ooh.
See, in my dreams, I think I could do that, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Right, when I go to Holiday World on a roller coaster, when I'm at Great Flags, I envision myself doing that.
I can't even do a cartwheel, so I'm impressed by everything she does.
Simone Biles.
She's the best of the best.
The best of the best. We wish her all the best, of course, during this competition season. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day on this 5/8/19. Todd Clauston, no one will be doing somersaults.
No, nobody's probably going to be liking the forecast as we get into the evening hours when we are going to have the chance of some strong to maybe even severe storms. Here's a live look outside right now and on Storm Team 6 radar, and you can see we are dealing with some rain this morning. So there are some showers out there, but we're really not in alert mode for what's happening right now. It's for what's going to happen later on this evening and then eventually into the overnight hours. From Montpelier through Hartford City, though, eventually down towards portions of the Matthews area and Dunkirk, some showers. Then there's one little downpour in and around downtown Peru as you work your way up into Miami County. Some light rain extends to the east as well. But that's just about it as far as the showers. There's a few very, very light ones near Crawfordsville this morning as well. And that is just about it. Otherwise, skies are partly cloudy. So a couple of you may see an isolated shower or a quick downpour for your morning commute, but most of us should remain dry here throughout the morning drive. Some really good storms, though, in St. Louis here this morning. And that broken line of thunderstorms extends back to this cluster of storms that you see right now near Omaha. So this cluster of storms is going to maintain itself, and it's going to kind of go up to the north near Chicago and then dive down into the Indianapolis area as we work our way into the evening hours and eventually into the overnight hours. So the slight risk for severe weather is really for this afternoon into the evening hours and then eventually overnight. It's a slight risk for a good chunk of the area. You notice the enhanced risk back off to our west in Illinois. So that's where the best potential of the severe weather is. The difference is the storms will be rolling through Illinois while the sun is still up during the peak heating of the day. So the potential for them to be a little bit stronger compared to them arriving closer to sunset here in central Indiana. But again, a stray shower or quick downpour is not completely out of the question throughout the day today. But the best chances you'll see on TrueCast here is for these storms to make their way through parts of central Indiana as we work into the overnight hours. And it's not a guarantee you're going to see all the rain tonight or the potential for severe weather, but that will be the best opportunity. If you do, the main threat would be high winds and the potential for some localized flooding as there could be some downpours in and around the area. 72 degrees right now. It's warm and muggy as we work our way throughout the day today. We are going to see our temperatures go all the way up into the 80s for most of us. So 68 in Crawfordsville right now, 69 is the current temperature as you work your way into the Bloomington area. And our temperatures very dependent today on this cloud cover compared to the sunshine. If you see the sunshine, you're probably up into the low 90s. More in the way of cloud cover, you're probably in the mid 80s. And then tomorrow we maintain some storm chances in the morning. And then we get into drier conditions throughout the afternoon. And once those storm chances end tomorrow morning, beautiful forecast for us the rest of the week. Lots of sunshine, lower humidity, Lauren, and temperatures in the mid 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We have a traffic alert for you as you're heading out the door. You can see we do have this closure here on the southeast side, eastbound, northbound I-465 between I-65 on the south side, I-70 on the east side. So you can see that this area is blocked. So what you'll need to do is take this detour, take northbound I-65 through downtown, eastbound I-70, or if you're on I-74 traveling westbound, you'll have to take 465 around there, traveling westbound, and then continue on that detour to get to the east side of town. Of course, we'll continue to monitor this, and we'll monitor those detour routes for any delays as we get closer to the rush hour.
Lauren, thank you so much. Tens of thousands came to Indianapolis to hear the music and see the incredible shows. You see them right there, and they were not disappointed. Up next, who took home the gold at the biggest marching band competition in the world right here in Indianapolis? Details next. On Good Morning Indiana. It was loud, if you could hear me, at Lucas Oil Stadium over the weekend. And in the end, one of the most dominant groups in Drum Corps International did it again. The Blue Devils from Concord, California are DCI world champions for the 6th time this decade. They narrowly beat out the Blue Coats from Canton, Ohio, winning by less than 1/10 of a point.
Oh, well, we also want to congratulate a pair of groups that we featured right here on RTV6, the Mandarins, which had several Hoosiers performing with the group or working on their staff. Well, they made history with back-to-back appearances in the finals. They finished in 10th place, achieving their highest score ever in competition. And hey, you remember these people right here, the dancers you saw on the news at noon last Friday.
La Banda Comunal La Fortuna from Costa Rica.
Nailed it. Well, their drum corps won their class in both the sound sport and drumline battle at the competitions at Pan Am Plaza on Saturday afternoon. So much fun having them in studio.
They were fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
So colorful and wonderful.
My dad was at the airport last night and he said, packed with band people leaving DCI.
Some music.
People coming from LA to just come watch.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
A lot of people here in the Circle City.
And who would have thought you'd have some subtitle translate on your newscast? Look at that.
I'm glad you were here for that.
We are a full-service news organization. Storm Team 6 alert day, some storms.
Yeah, especially this afternoon into the evening hours. There'll be the potential for some strong to severe storms. This morning, there's a few out there as well. Not so much storms, just some rain making its way through the area. But it really shouldn't hamper you all that much for your morning commute. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. The better storm chance well back off to our west. You see them rolling into Iowa. We'll talk more about the timeline and the threats of these storms as we progress throughout the course of the day coming up in the next half hour. Time now is 5:28. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Only on RTV6 News.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Hiring Hoosiers is helping your kids get ready for the workforce by taking a look at the unique programs offered at local schools.
This morning, our reporters are looking at how students are inspecting the tiniest of organisms and preparing for the jobs of the future in the cyber world.
But first, Storm Team 6 is preparing for a chance of storms. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Meredith, who's on vacation. For the latest on when those storms could hit the area, let's check in with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Todd Clausen, who is standing by, back from vacation, happy.
Welcome
He's smiling. Look at him. Look at the glow. There's a glow over there.
It's always good to be back. I wish I had better weather. I was coming back to non-stormy conditions. Obviously, we do need some rain here across central Indiana, but we want to get the rain without the threat of severe weather, and that's what we're doing here this morning across parts of the area. We have some light rain moving through a good chunk of Blackford County here, Hartford City up towards Montpelier, and eventually over towards the Pennville area. And then there's some spotty showers near Peru over in Crawfordsville. But off to our west, you notice this cluster of storms. That's what's going to be heading in our direction as we work our way into the course of the afternoon, evening, and into the overnight hours. So as we get further and further throughout the day today, that's when our storm chances are actually going to ramp up here across the area. It's warm, it's muggy this morning with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So you may want to have the umbrella handy for a stray shower through the first half of the day. But it's really later on today that those storm chances ramp up. Our high temperature today into the mid to upper 80s across the area. Heat index values, though, will be in the 90s. We'll talk more about this storm chance and the timeline coming up in just a few minutes. But right now at 5:32, let's get you updated on the roadways with Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at I-70 and Midhofer Road. We know I-70 is part of the detour route as we have I-465 closed on the southeast side. So expect heavier traffic in this area throughout the morning. You can see we already have a lot of headlights there traveling in both directions, but everything is still moving up to speed, so that is good news. Let's take a live look right now in the downtown area, also part of that detour route, so it may get backed up as we get into the rush hour. You can see at this hour we do have a lot of headlights moving both northbound and southbound, but the good news, no crashes in this area of downtown to slow you down.
The time now is 5:33, and we are following breaking news from the city's northwest side this morning. 2 people recovering following the shooting at a Shell gas station. Now, this all unfolding around near 71st and Michigan Road. Police tell us the victims were taken to the hospital in serious condition. What led to the gunfire still remains under investigation at this hour.
Well, new this morning, investigators on the city's near northwest side are looking into a pair of shootings. The first scene happened near Udell in California. The call came just after 9 last night. That victim from the scene was taken to the hospital in critical condition. And then just 6 minutes later, just blocks up the street, a second call for a person shot. When officers arrived to Eugene in California, they found another man shot there. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Now, this morning, police have not determined if those shootings are connected.
Despite efforts to try to save his life, the Boone County Sheriff's Office says a 58-year-old inmate has died. Around 11:15 Saturday night, corrections officers, they tried to help 58-year-old Prince McGoy of Indianapolis. They say he was sweating and complaining of chest pain. While evaluating him, they say his condition got worse. First responders transported McGoy to the hospital, where he later died. He just turned himself in on August the 8th and was being held at the Boone County Jail on a $1,000 bond for probation violation.
It is 5:34. Residents down in Johnson County will get an update from federal officials this week about planned sewer work near a tainted industrial site. Sewer work will begin in Franklin, near where electronics manufacturer Amphenol once operated. Some tests have confirmed groundwater and sewer vapors in the community have cancer-causing chemicals exceeding Indiana's safe limits level. Crews will replace damaged sewers and remove the contamination from the Amphenol site that remains around the old sewers. The meeting will be held on Wednesday. It will be at the Johnson County Library in Franklin. The meeting will start at 5 o'clock. It'll be in the library's community room. Well, we want to continue our classroom to career coverage right here on Good Morning Indiana, looking at the opportunities that your kids can check out at the State Fair this week.
So it's an interactive exhibit getting students interested in the world of science. Aaron Lish is with us in studio. Aaron, explain and tell us more about these microorganisms.
Well, I'm not going to test you guys on this later. You don't have to bring your textbooks out, but we are actually learning about science today. Microorganisms, they are the largest number of living organisms on the planet, but they're tiny, like at the level you need a microscope. Through Purdue Extension, they're showing kids what the mighty microbes can do to create things we use every day.
In the Mighty Microbes interactive exhibit, kids like Bella Strevel are learning
about germs and stuff.
Finding out more about microorganisms.
That if you don't do stuff, you'll get all sick and stuff.
The focus by Purdue Extension is to show kids how microorganisms produce many things like food, pharmaceutical products, and biofuels.
All these different things are just teaching youth and kids about the science and technology and engineering and math and the power that we have behind the microbes that we have in our living world.
You created an antibiotic by combining a specific type of fungus with sugar.
This display leaving parents even impressed.
It's quite interesting to show them the way some of the antibodies and the different viruses work and the way brewing works.
The hope is to get kids interested in STEM at a young age so they can consider becoming a scientist one day.
When they learn about the science and the neat things the occupations that they could potentially have going forward. It allows them to grow and to think about what opportunities they're going to have for the future.
Bella's dad says this very well could be a future career path for her, but this allows her to decide while having fun.
This shows them that anything of that nature can be enjoyable, and if it leads it to them, then we're absolutely for it.
So this display is inside the Purdue Extension Horticultural Building, and it's at the fair right before you get to all of the rides. And if you do miss out there, they will bring it around to the local kids' museums.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. It is 5:37, and as we told you all month long, we're showing you how local schools are preparing their students for careers.
So one district is giving high schoolers the opportunity to get hands-on training with the school's technology staff. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, these students are actually working on computers on their own school, is that right?
That's right. So it's all part of the Indian Creek Schools Tech Club. Students who take computer science or technology classes are eligible to join this team. And then for their senior year, they're actually working directly with their school technology staff. So they're learning from people who already have jobs in the field they're interested in. And I spoke with a student, Isaiah Lacey, who graduated this year. Over the summer, he worked with the technology staff at Indian Creek Schools. He learned how to set up workstations, how to re-image a computer, and how to assign devices to certain people, just to name a few things. Lacey tells me he was torn between two career paths, this and sports management. The school gave him the opportunity to take a class in each, and that helped him figure out exactly what he wanted to do. He graduated with the right experience he needs to land a job in the field he wants to work in.
All of those jobs out there that are entry-level jobs but require 2 years of experience, that actually gives them the opportunity to have those years of experience doing the work-based learning.
Now, Lacey tells me he's not going straight into the workforce. He's heading to college to major in computer information systems. Now, in order to be involved in this program, students do have to take those computer classes first, and then they actually have to be part of that tech team for 2 years before they get to do the work-based learning. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. It is 5:39, and for the second time in just a week, a group of people vandalized a Carmel youth sports organization. And the vandals were caught on camera doing all of the damage. This happened at Badgers Field in Carmel, where the Carmel Dads Club operates. The group broke into several buildings, spray painted and destroyed the property. They also stole supplies from the concessions area. All the vandals did more than $4,000 in damage. If you know who these vandals are or the suspects, please call the Carmel Police Department. We do want to toss things over to Todd Clausen because it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, we're alert for the potential for some strong to maybe severe storms once we get into the evening hours and then eventually overnight as well. You do see some showers out there on Storm Team 6 radar here this morning, so it's not completely out of the question. You'll get a passing shower or a sprinkle, but really nothing more than that. The bigger, stronger storms are off to our west, and that's what's going to start to roll in here later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. So the Storm Prediction Center has a good chunk of the area under the slight risk for severe weather. The main threats would be wind and hail, as well as some locally heavy rainfall. So a great tool to have, especially because a lot of these storms could be coming in after you go to sleep tonight into tomorrow morning. The Storm Shield app, it's free for you to download. You can set the alerts for your exact location. So it's only the alerts that you're getting in your neighborhood that'll appear, or you'll hear that sound, and it'll wake you up here throughout the overnight hours. You can control the radar as well. We'll talk more about the storm threat for you here coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A Tennessee inmate wanted for killing a prison administrator is back in jail this morning. After the break, we'll hear from the man who found the escaped inmate lurking on his front porch.
Plus, let's get personal. What are the topics you hate talking about with your spouse? Is money one of them? Why more Americans are avoiding talking finances.
And at 5:41, here's a live look right now at traffic. This is I-65 at Keystone Avenue. You can see traffic here is picking up this morning. We're going to be keeping you updated on any crashes or delays when we come back here on Good Morning Indiana just after the break. Stay with us.
For eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Welcome back. An escaped inmate wanted for murder is now back in custody. The number of agencies helping local authorities capture Curtis Ray Watson on Sunday, about 50 miles northwest of Memphis. Well, Watson took off from the West Tennessee State Penitentiary on Wednesday while working on work detail. Investigators say that after he escaped, he sexually assaulted and killed a corrections administrator. The man who found Watson says that he was prepared for anything.
I prepared for if he tried to come inside. And then we called 911. They sent out their representative, and from there, with God's help, they got it. And our community should be relieved that he's back in custody.
Well, Watson was serving an active sentence for especially aggravated kidnapping.
The time now is 5:45, and police in Hong Kong clashing with pro-democracy protesters, as you can see there, at a number of locations during the 10th straight weekend of those protests. At least 9 people injured in the protests, according to Hong Kong police. One man in serious condition, another in stable condition. Police in riot gear, often firing tear gas canisters at the crowd in an attempt to break that all up. Almost 600 people arrested over the weekend.
Well, nothing can ruin a cruise faster than a stomach bug, right? That's why the CDC tries to prevent onboard illnesses by regularly inspecting ships. A Carnival Cruise Line ship recently flunked one of those inspections. The Carnival Fantasy received the score of 77, and the CDC considers any grade below 85 failing. Inspectors there reported finding food storage and preparation violations, a dirty swimming pool, and brown water coming from shower heads. Carnival now says it's corrected those issues and wants officials to re-inspect the ship. At 5:46 on a Storm Team 6 alert day, we need to chat with Todd and see when we can expect those storms, Todd.
You know, there is the chance of a stray shower or storm at almost any point throughout the day. Today it's warm and it's muggy out there, but the better chance of these storms are really going to be throughout the late evening hours and then eventually overnight, and that's why we're in alert mode. It's more for later on today than it is for here this morning. So there could be a stray shower, as I mentioned, throughout the day. Don't be shocked if you see it, but the storm threat will start to ramp up as we head into the late evening hours tonight and then overnight, with wind and heavy rain being the main threat. So this morning we've had a few showers up to the north. This shower is now exiting primarily out of the Hartford City area. Still some light rain on the eastern portion of Blackford County there, but that shower is making its way even further to the east. The shower has now made its way through the Peru area, and then we have a few more spotty showers here that extends from Crawfordsville up towards the Lafayette area. And as you see, they're very spotty, they're very light, and I really don't think they're going to hamper you much at all as you get out and about here and as the kids head off to school. So just don't be shocked if you get a sprinkle here this morning. Otherwise, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. What I'm keeping an eye on for you for later on this afternoon and eventually into the evening hours is this cluster of storms. And we could actually see a couple clusters of storms like this make their way through the area over the next 24 hours. And the Storm Prediction Center does have us under the slight risk for severe weather. Lafayette, Terre Haute, Indy, Muncie, Richmond, Greensboro, you are all under the slight risk threat. As you get across the state line into Illinois, that's where we start to ramp up into the enhanced risk for severe weather. And you can kind of see, just based upon how they filled in this risk map, the Storm Prediction Center, the storms are going to be coming in on an angle like this from northwest and then pushing towards the southeast. So the exact track of the storm will obviously determine who sees the heaviest of the rain and the strongest winds. So hour by hour throughout the day today, if you have outdoor lunch plans, you should be okay. There again could be a stray shower or two, and that's just about it. But as we work our way into the late evening hours, then overnight, this model has updated, and it's keeping the stronger storms to the north. If you joined us earlier before the model update happened, it was taking it right through central Indiana. So I'm not super convinced that this is the actual placement that the storms will be. I think they will be a little more numerous heading into the overnight hours. But make sure you join Kyle later on this evening. He's in for Kevin, and he'll update you on the exact path of these storms as they start to make their way into the area. So temperatures are in the 60s and 70s this morning. It's warm, it's muggy. As we go throughout the day today, everybody will see their temperatures climb up into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Some of you who keep the sunshine around a little bit longer, don't be shocked if your high temperatures climb up into the 90s, but we'll keep it in the mid 80s for most of us as those storms start to arrive later on this evening. And then for tomorrow, tomorrow, some of those storms, again, continue into the morning commute with maybe the potential for some localized flooding. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on for you tomorrow morning. And then as we work our way throughout the second half of the day tomorrow, there will be improvement in the forecast. And then beyond tomorrow, the forecast gets nice and quiet again, a nice cooler, more refreshing air mass in place Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before we start to heat things back up heading into the weekend. But once again, it looks to be another very nice summer-like weekend with temperatures near 90 and not much in the way of any rainfall. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We need to talk about that closure right now on 465 eastbound and northbound here between I-65 and I-70. This is already causing some delays on the south side on eastbound I-465 leading into that closure. It's stop and go from all the way back to the East Street exit, so give yourself that extra time this morning. This is your official detour route. Take I-65 northbound to I-70 eastbound. You're going to have to go through the downtown area, and that could cause some delays because traffic is already pretty heavy there at this hour. Let's take a look from our NDOT traffic camera at the North Split. Again, part of the detour route as people are rerouting onto I-70 to get to the east side. You can see lots of headlights out that way. Things are still moving here in downtown, but as we get into the rush hour coming up soon in about an hour, we'll keep a very close eye on this spot. Raphael?
The time now is 5:51. Do you like talking about your personal finances? According to a new study out this morning, money tops the list of the most taboo topics to talk about. TD Ameritrade recently polled people about money and found that politics, even healthcare, are easier to talk about than personal finances. Of all the money topics, student debt was the most uncomfortable. In fact, less than half feel comfortable even talking about college debt with their spouse or partner. The study also found that the majority of people think society would be better off and healthier talking about money. Coming up next, a school superintendent in Georgia surprising students in his district with a gift that could help them well into their future. His heartwarming announcement after the break. Lauren?
And Indigo's Red Line is just a few weeks away from its launch. You can download the RTV6 app right now to read more about how this new dedicated bus lane is already causing issues at a Brown Ripple intersection. We know it's confusing, so go online to read that story. It is 5:52. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Friday, only at Ashley Home Store.
An education leader in Georgia is donating his bonus pay to help college-bound seniors in his district.
Yeah, 44-year-old Grant Rivera has been the superintendent of Marietta City Schools since 2016, and he has a base salary of $190,000. Well, he says he's donating his first ever $10,000 bonus to pay for the application fees for every student who applies to college ahead of the regular application deadlines. If the cost of the college applications exceeds $10,000, Rivera says that he is committed to paying the rest with his own money. A great motivation there for the kids to get those applications in.
That's Good News Friday on a Monday. What a way to start the week. A treat.
Yeah. We're always giving out treats here on Good Morning Indiana, but not always in the weather department.
No, not today. Not so much.
You know, we've had some good days here, but today is not one of those great days. It's not a terrible day. We're just going to be on the alert for some showers and storms here later on this afternoon. There's a few showers out there right now, as you see right there on Storm Team 6 radar, and temperatures are currently in the 70s right now. So it's warm, it's muggy, but it's really this afternoon that some isolated storms develop. It's this evening and then overnight that will have the better potential for some more widespread showers and storms, and some of those could be on the strong to severe side, with our high temperature today climbing into the upper 80s.
Todd, thanks so much. All month long, we're taking a look at programs helping Hoosier students transition to the workforce. New this morning, our Alyssa Donovan is highlighting a program offered by Indian Creek High School in Trafalgar.
And here's a live look across the Circle City as you get ready for work or the school week. Started with us. There's plenty more news and weather. What have you? Take that in. There may be some storms later today, but so what? Look at that city right now. Looks fantastic. Our Monday morning starts with you. Coming up in just a few moments right here on Good Morning Indiana.